But the really impressive part is the ease on the back end for both setting this up and building these scenarios. Um, I will tell you from the OpsTrakker side, building that e-data sheet took roughly 5 minutes. Building the e-forms, for me, again, I've been doing this for a while, but 30 minutes. Building the Canary portion of this with calculations involved, hour and a half. In this tool is everything you'll need to answer those questions of does actual equal expected? And tell me which use cases you have to ask that for, because now you no longer are limited to what is available from a digital signal. Now that you can manually enter data, all those other points that you couldn't afford to put a meter on, that you couldn't afford to track and trend because it, to digitize it was just way off the wall, that's fine. You have somebody capturing that right now, probably on paper, and you're now having to look through it in Excel, or you're looking into a historian pulling stuff out with Excel. But if you put it all into the same digital place, you can do this stuff in real time. And Canary allows you to do that. Here's why. You can have multiple connections into your Canary historian. So here, Travis is actually the name of one of my workstations. So here's, we've got pumps running live PLC data points. Under e-data sheet, you just saw the data that goes in there. It's what I'm manually entering on that e-data sheet, all gets historized here. And then I have calculations because as I'm running through this data coming in through multiple sources, I'm integrating it together. You can see that off of your calcs and events page. And this is really where the simplicity, again, as I'm looking for what tools can I put in place where it's not going to be thrown on the shelf because, yeah, no way am I reading that booklet. This is for the sticky feel of, yes, we can use these tools because they're built to be simply implemented right away. So here's my magnesium hardness, the calculation I created here. Again, looked like we were doing a lot of fancy stuff, but we weren't. We were measuring what our current magnesium was, which you can see came from that data point that was from eData sheet. We put in static values for high and low. We could make it really fancy if we wanted and do some calculation where the output was some running output and make that the high and low. But we'll stick with the basics here of that's what we saw on the sheet. Then we did a simple event start trigger calculation, which says, hey, if we're above the high or below the low, we need somebody to take some action. So let's start this event and let's call it magnesium hardness. So you'll see that's what it takes to calculate an event start trigger. Also notice over here, I didn't show you the email coming out, but you can put a notification email in, and this is what it'll look like for your email template. So again, while your operator may be in a distributed operations mode where, hey, they're running a couple different plants, they may not have time for the synthesis to remember they've got to do something. They may be keeping moving to their next thing. They may need the backup of this system. They may need a supervisor as well to get this so that at the end of shift check, you can say, hey, did you make sure to hit A, B, and C? I saw you got that alert. Those are the kind of things that you can do with the Canary system on this. Nice part is then you actually have an end trigger where you can say, hey, when we're both in spec again, let's call it the end. And then because of this, you can set an event property that says, what's the important thing I want to know about this event? Again, from what you can see, I'm looking at operator turnover. So as an operator, I'd want to know, whoa, you went out of spec. How high or low did you go out of spec? What are we talking about here? And that's why I had the max of that valley or peak. So what is that max value? And that all can be shown as you saw on Axiom. You can change it so that it can calculate every time this value changes. So every time I put a new value in, this is like having that little supervisor on your shoulder. Do you need to do something? Are you in spec? What do you